Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. It is day 70 of reading the Bible in a year. And I turned 35 in 2 days. Yay. All right. This is the second reading of tonight, day 70. And I'm reading Luke chapter 21. Are you ready? I'm ready. The widow's 2 mites. And yes, I'm using my right hand to point at the words. All right. And he looked up and saw the rich putting their gifts into the treasury. And he also saw a certain poor widow putting in 2 mites. That's 2 little coins. So he said, "Truly I say to you, that this poor widow has put in more than all. For all these, out of their abundance, have put in offerings for God, but she, out of her poverty, put in all the livelihood she had." Jesus predicts the destruction of the temple. Then, as some spoke of the temple, how it was adorned with beautiful stones and donations, he said, "These things which you see, the days will come in which none, not one stone shall be left upon another, that shall not be thrown down." The signs of the times, and the end of the age. So they asked him, saying, "Teacher, but when will these things be? And what sign will there be when these things are about to take place?" And he said, "Take heed that you do not be deceived. For many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and 'the time has drawn near.' Therefore, do not go after them. But when you hear of wars and commotions, do not be terrified, for these things must come to pass. For these things must come to pass first, but the end will not come immediately." Then he said to them, "Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be great earthquakes in various places, and famines and pestilences, and there will be fearful sights and great signs from heaven. But before all these things, they will lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and prisons. You will be brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. But it will turn out for you as an occasion for testimony. Therefore settle it in your hearts not to mediate beforehand on what you will answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries will not be able to contradict or resist. You will be betrayed even by parents and brothers, relatives and friends, and they will put some of you to death. And you will be hated by all for my name's sake. But not the hair on your head shall be lost, but by your patience possess your souls." The destruction of Jerusalem. "But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know its desolation is near." It looks like that at the moment. "But then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let those who are in the midst of her depart, and let not those who are in the country enter her. For these are the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days. For there will be great distress in the land and wrath upon its people. And they will fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. and Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. The coming of the Son of Man. And there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on the earth distress of all nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them from fear and expectation of those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift your heads, because your redemption draws near. The parable of the fig tree. Then he spoke to them a parable. Look at the fig tree and all the trees. When they are already budding, you see and know for yourselves that summer is now near. So you also, when you see these things happening, know that the kingdom of God is near. Assuredly, I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all the things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. The importance of watching. But take heed to yourselves, lest your hearts be weighed down with carousing, drunkenness, and cares of this life, and that day come on you unexpectedly. For it will come as a snare on those who dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch therefore and pray always, that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And in the daytime he was teaching in the temple, but at night he went out and stayed on the mountain called Olivet. Then early in the morning all the people came to him in the temple to hear him. Yeah. Now, lots of people have used those words that Jesus spoke in this chapter 21 to try and predict when the end times will be. Yeah, and no one on the earth will be able to do that, because didn't Jesus say no one but the Son of Man knows when that day will come? But there are signs and things, and some of the signs have been happening for quite a few years now. Some people thought that the end times were World War One. Some people thought they were World War Two. Some people thought they were Vietnam, the Falkland Island Wars. Yeah. Lots of wars happened over centuries. Lots of wars have happened over the centuries. Hundreds of wars have happened over the centuries. And yeah, we're still getting towards that end times time. Yeah, that's all I can say, really. I will say good night now, and have a nice sleep. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 71.